keep the moves on tuck. I know it's all up, everything good, keep the vibes on crush. I know it's all good, know it's all love, know it's all love. I've been feeling like the man lately. Can't nobody do it like I can. Only you move me to the rhythm.
Hey loves, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Kelly and I upload twice a week. And today's video, we are tackling this pantry and doing a massive budget-friendly DIY makeover and transforming this space into a more organized and functional space in the kitchen. And so this is going to be part 5 of my extreme spring clean with me series I've been doing on my channel, where I'm going throughout my entire home, room by room, space by space, deep cleaning, decluttering, and reorganizing my entire home before the end of spring. And this space in the home has been on my list for a while now. We haven't done anything to this pantry since we moved in 2011 or 2012. And so it feels really good and kind of scary to redo a space like this, like a space in the kitchen, because when you have guests over, a lot of time is spent in the kitchen and you just want things to look nice and organized and clean. And so this space is definitely the catch-all space in the kitchen for things that I just do not know what to do with. And some days it's just easier to just throw it in the pantry to deal with later, but then I forget about it, and that's my pantry is always a disaster. So we are removing the pantry doors, having it as an open space, and then building some cabinets and making this almost like a second countertop space. We're also going to be adding ceiling lights and a feature wall, which I am so excited for. Again, this is all going to be DIY'd. You can totally do this all yourself. Definitely budget friendly. Like when everything was said and done, the total cost was $400, where we could have easily paid someone $4,000 with everything that we ended up doing. And it's just the best feeling to have a more organized space, especially when it's in a place like the kitchen where you spend a lot of time. So I truly hope that this inspires you to tackle an at-home DIY project or reorganize a space in your home, because life gets messy. It's something that we all have to deal with, but you don't have to do this alone. We can tackle this together. And if you are totally redoing a space with me, or deep cleaning, or reorganizing, or decluttering, be sure to take a before picture and an after picture, post it to Instagram and tag me. I'm at Kelly Hosbrook, so that we can all see your transformations. And there is just truly nothing more satisfying than seeing the befores and afters of all your hard work. So be sure to click that thumbs up button if you like this video. Also, let me know your thoughts in the comments while watching, because I truly love hearing from you. And then let's go. Let's get to cleaning and reorganizing. You can do it with me. And so first thing we wanted to do was to clear everything out of the pantry, including the shelves, which the ones I'm taking down I got from Amazon and was my sad attempt at trying to make this pantry make sense. And then also taking down these wire racks too, which I was so happy to see go, because I do not like our wire racks. We have them in every closet in our home, and I just don't like how they look. I don't like how everything seems to fall in between the cracks of the shelf, but also taking them off was a disaster too, because they left like a million massive holes in the wall, because we ended up having to almost like rip them out of the wall, which then also left drywall all over the floor. So just a forewarning, if you have these same types of shelving in your home, definitely make sure that you have plenty of spackle and your vacuum is on hand, because it was a mess. So just spackling a million holes in the wall so that we can go ahead and paint in here, which, as you may notice, the wall color in the pantry is a completely different color from the rest of the kitchen. And that would be because the paint color in the pantry is the original color of the house when we moved in, which really just shows how little we've done in this pantry. Honestly, I think it was really just because it would have been too much of a pain to take off the shelves. But now that those are gone, I can get in there, give it a fresh coat of paint, which I decided to just do like a pure white, so no tint or color added to the walls, and also the cabinets we'll be building, just to really make this space pop. And also, as I already mentioned, we'll be doing a feature wall in here to make it stand out even more. And I was just so excited to get started. Like, I honestly hardly slept the night before because I was ready to get in here, tear everything out, deep clean, and rebuild it in a way that I like. And I have to tell you, after this project, it just made me fall in love with my home that I've been living in for 12 years all over again. And I am not going to sugarcoat it. This ended up being a lot of hard work and also a multi-day project. We also ran to Home Depot about 57 times throughout this. I was just absolutely exhausted even after day one, but I am so glad that we did. And I feel a million times better that we just bit the bullet and got it done. And so just finishing up the clean inside here by giving the floors a good vac mop. They were so gross. And even though the floors are going to be covered by the cabinets, I still wanted to make sure that they were nice and clean before. I also wanted to wipe down the baseboard back here. We're keeping the back baseboard, but the two side baseboards we're actually taking out since that's where the cabinets are going. And so now Tyler's just making some of the cuts he needs so that we can start building the cabinets. And when I say we, by the way, I mean, it's going to be mostly him building this because I am clearly not the handyman. I like to do all of like the spackling, and the painting is just so satisfying to me. I also love decorating too and just making the space look really, really nice. But he takes my vision and just puts it together and it just makes it happen somehow. I definitely wouldn't have been able to do any of this without him. So bless him for going along with all of my crazy ideas. But now we're getting the cabinets set up, and one thing that we definitely noticed while we were putting this together are the countertops. So for the countertops, we wanted to have something that was a little bit more sturdy. We originally got these like more thin, like almost like project boards for the countertops. And our original plan was to reinforce them with some wood going underneath them. Just because it would have saved quite a bit of money. And, you know, I'm all about, you know, being budget friendly and saving money. But one thing that you do not want to cheat on is the sturdiness of your cabinets, especially if you're planning on putting heavier objects on them. So we made a Home Depot run, the first of many runs, by the way, and picked up some more boards, just some that were a bit more sturdy and that looked nicer. We also picked out the stain for the countertops, which I picked out heather gray, and also we picked up the white paint too. But also I wanted to pick out the doorknobs for the cabinets, which I saw these really cute wood ones that we could also stain to match the countertops. And these are the ones that I actually ended up going with, but I'm not gonna lie, there were so many options and this took me a really long time to decide on, just because, you know, do I want to do gold or brushed nickel or silver? And so I guess I ended up deciding on wood. But yeah, there were just a lot of options, and I feel like I'm really indecisive when it comes to these little things anyways. But I did end up really loving the cabinet handles that I ended up picking out. But Home Depot definitely has a great selection. But now we're back at home getting the cabinet set up. Actually, Tyler's working on the countertop there, but this was definitely the most time-consuming part of the project, just getting the frame of the cabinets built. Also painting too, because we had a lot of painting to do. And obviously this would have been way easier to just, you know, pay someone to come in and do this professionally, albeit a little bit more expensive. But Tyler and I genuinely love doing DIY projects together, especially when life feels like really crazy like it is right now, and our schedules being filled with work and sports and our kids' school activities. And I don't know, it's just so nice to have this time to work together and to chat and just have fun and see what we come up with. You know, it's not going to be perfect like how a professional would make it, but it's just that much more special that we built this together. So now we are on day 2 of this extreme pantry makeover, and it's still early in the morning, which is why I have my workout clothes on, but I wanted to get started on this right away because we still have a ton to get to. We got a lot done yesterday, pretty much got up like the framework of like the cabinets, and so you can kind of see what everything is going to look like. It's really, really exciting. But today for day 2, we're going to be doing a lot of like staining and painting, like painting the walls, painting the cabinets, staining the countertops. We're gonna also do like a feature wall, which is something that we decided to do while we were at the gym. So we stopped on the way home and got a few things for that. So we're gonna be setting up a feature wall today too. Basically just trying to get as much done as we possibly can. Like I know we still need to do like the organizing inside the cabinets and like decluttering all the pantry items, and also like decorating and like all that fun stuff. So this might go into day 3, but my main goal today is basically just to get everything like painted, stained, like all the cabinets set up, like everything, you know, where it needs to be, the feature wall set up, so that then tomorrow we can do all the fun stuff, which is just organizing and, you know, decorating and making everything look, you know, really nice and super efficient. So I'm gonna show you really quick though, like kind of what we're doing and like the progress that's been made so far, and then we'll jump right into it. Okay, so here's what we've done so far, which it doesn't really look like a lot, but we have the framework up for the cabinets. Tyler has the countertops. He has them out. He's staining those right now, which I'll insert some footage of him doing that in just a minute because he's filming it. God bless him. He's been such a trooper on this project. But I have like all the holes and, you know, everything like spackled, and I do need to wipe the wall down. There's a lot of stains. You know, this used to be our food pantry, so there's just like a lot of food, and also like cobwebs are up in the corners. I don't know if you can see them or not, but yeah, just the whole wall just needs a really good wipe down. Okay, so basically step 1, I'm gonna wipe down the walls, get it dusted, like wipe down any of like the stains and get like all the cobwebs off of it. Then we're gonna get the cabinet doors on and the countertops as well. I'm gonna paint the cabinets. We're gonna paint those white too. We're gonna get the feature walls set up. And then after that, then we can get all of this mess cleaned up, because I feel like every single time I do a DIY project, it just completely destroys our house. But I'm just trying to think of the end goal. I'm super excited. I just know it's gonna look really, really good. So let's get right to work.
Giving up your dreams to your silly demons. We're diamonds in the dust, oh, why can't you see it?
And so after wiping all of the walls down and getting all the stains off of them, and also all of these cobwebs out of the corners of the wall, which honestly, looking back on it, I kind of wish I would have used a vacuum instead because it was so gross. But now we can start painting. And again, I decided to go with pure white for the walls and for the cabinets too, just to brighten this space up. And then also to add some contrast, we'll be staining the countertops heather gray, which is kind of like a light brownish gray. It's kind of like the same color as the top of our island, but I was just so ready to finally get rid of that brown paint. And I just love painting. Like, I'm one of those people that I could paint all day and I'll just turn on some music, which is what I did here, or I'll turn on a show. And honestly, I can kind of just mentally check out for the day. I did not enjoy it this time as much. However, if I could go back, I definitely would have painted the walls the day before, like before the cabinet frame was built, because it was in my way the entire time while I was painting. And also adding paint to the roller. Also, the walls took 3 coats of paint to fully cover the brown, where the wood cabinets only took 2. And constantly just ducking under the frame wasn't helping at all. I woke up the next day and my back was so sore after this. But after getting everything painted, even without the cabinet doors on or even the countertops on, which Tyler is either currently staining the countertops right now or he's making the 30th Home Depot run, after seeing everything painted, you can kind of already see it coming together. So I am just so glad that I did end up pushing through and getting everything painted, because there were so many times that I just wanted to call it a night, because seeing that kind of gave me a boost to get everything done that night with a little bit of cleanup the next morning. But we didn't end up going to bed until 1:30 in the morning, but waking up and coming downstairs and just seeing everything done and looking amazing and the way that I've always wanted it was just the best feeling.
They don't know you like I do. Like I do. They don't know you like I do.
And so when painting the walls and also the cabinets, I just use a large roller and also like a little foam brush just to get into like the cracks and the corners. And now I'm just moving on to painting like the front part of the cabinets, which is like where the doors are. And I'll also be using polyurethane on this top piece and the bottom as well after they dry, which I 100% recommend using polyurethane when painting things like cabinets, countertops, doors, or baseboards, because one, it gives it a really nice shine, but also it helps protect the paint from getting chipped or wearing or from staining. So I'll also be using polyurethane on the cabinet doors too, since those get touched a lot, just to help protect them and keep its bright white color.
I wanna speak my mind and tell you how I feel, but it's like talking.
And now we are finally done with at least the bulk of the painting. And honestly, the most satisfying part is taking this tape off, which you can tell I am not a perfect painter. Like, I just get it all over the place, including myself. And we also put a middle piece up between like the two cabinet doors. I have no idea what happened to that footage, but now we are putting on the gorgeous countertops. I just love the color of them. I showed it at the beginning, but I will leave it in the description box just in case you are interested. I just think it's a really nice color, especially as a contrast to white. But now we are getting started on our feature wall. This was actually a last minute plan where I just saw a picture on Pinterest and I was like, you know what, we really just got to go for it. So we got this unfinished wood from Home Depot, which is the cheaper option. And then we can just sand it down and paint it, which I'm also going to paint this white and put like a shiny coat of polyurethane on it to make them stand out. And so people are going to ask, why didn't you sand and paint the wood before hanging them? And the answer is, I have no idea. We do not know what we are doing, but with a lot of prayer and patience, this turned out perfectly. This is the first time we're doing anything like this to our house, but I think we did pretty good. But we are now framing in the top and bottom, and then we're gonna start with our vertical boards. So just figuring out where we want them, and then Tyler is using his power tool and screws to pop the boards into place. And this looks so easy from afar, and when it's sped up too. I guess once you get into the rhythm, it's easy. The hardest part was the measurements for sure, because we wanted to make sure that it was perfectly even so that everything lines up, which there's a few parts that weren't perfect with cracks, but I just filled them in with spackle later and you can't even tell. Like, it all looks like one piece of wood, which, speaking of measurements, by the way, if you're wondering why we're keeping this post here in the middle, that's because it's a support beam. So we kind of need it, but also we found out while doing this project that it's crooked. So our measurements were a little off when building our cabinets, but we made the adjustments and you can't even tell anything is off. Even though now that I know, I can see that our post is slightly crooked, but oh well, at least it adds character. And then after sanding the feature wall boards, I'm just going to lay down some tape so that I don't get any tape on the fresh countertops. And then I'm going to start painting after laying these towels down, because I'm really trying not to get paint on those countertops. And getting started on painting, I 10 out of 10 recommend painting these before you hang them on the wall, because honestly, it just took me so much longer. I had to keep switching between the roller and the foam brush, and it just took me like probably about 10 times the amount of time that it would have taken me if I would have just done it before I put them on the wall. But seeing everything come together, I was just so excited, and seeing the countertops down. Really all that we really need to do is just put the cabinet doors on and get everything organized back in there. I was especially excited to have this space, a more functional part of the kitchen too, because we love to host, Christmas and Thanksgivings. And I don't know about you, but usually around halfway through the party, like my countertops and my island just look totally trashed. So it's really nice to also have some extra counter space, and I can already picture, serving drinks on there or meals, and it just makes me really, really excited. And before I talk through everything, Tyler just ran a power line through the wall and set up an outlet so that we can plug in the ceiling puck lights lights. And we found these at Home Depot. These are $30 for a pack of 3. And so we ended up getting 2 packs. These ended up working out perfectly because since this wall is in kind of like a little alcove, we wanted to add some lighting to brighten the space up. But we also did not want to have to spend a bunch of money on it and then also have to drill massive holes to fit the lights in. But these just stick right on the ceiling. We did have to sand down the spot where we wanted to put it because we have a stomped ceiling, but these were really, really easy to install and comes with a remote too, so you can change between regular lights and LED lights. I was honestly on the fence about adding these, but I am so glad that I did because they added the perfect amount of lighting to this space. They are really, really bright lights, so they put out 660 lumens, if that means anything to you. I don't know, but you can also dim them too. So you have control over how bright the lights are. And my kiddo too definitely approves of them as well. He just loves the LED function. He's already been down here just playing with the LED lights and putting it on what he calls party mode, where it like flashes all the different lights. But it's really, really affordable. It was super easy to set up and I definitely recommend them. But now I'm going to get started on spackling. So basically I'm a perfectionist and I just could not stand looking at like the screw holes where we went to fasten in the boards and also just like the imperfections in the wood too. So I'm just taking my finger and just putting on like a little bit of spackle so that I can go in and sand and then just give the boards a final coat of paint too.
Can it just be us tonight? Under the night sky, gonna make my skin rise. Can it just be us tonight? Do you believe in magic? Comes from the inside. Do you believe in magic? Do you believe in magic? Comes from the inside. Do you believe in magic? Do you believe in magic? Comes from the inside. Do you believe in magic? Do you believe in magic? Do you believe in magic?
And now we're getting started on adding some polyurethane just so we can protect the wood and make it nice and shiny. And you're going to instantly see a difference in how shiny it makes. For the back wall, I used a flat white paint and then used polyurethane on the accent part, and it just really made it stand out. I mean, you can instantly see that it is way more shinier, and I just think it just adds that nice little touch to the dimensions of the wall. And then also I'm gonna add some polyurethane to the countertops as well. But first I wanted to give it a good wipe down because there was just a lot of drywall that was all over the countertops. So giving that a good wipe down using the lemon scented Mrs. Meyer cleaner, and then I'll go and add in a layer of polyurethane. After we get this done, then we will finally add the cabinet doors. Definitely starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel. Like, I want to say it was somewhere around 11 o'clock by the time that we actually got the cabinet doors on. So it was getting really, really late, but I was just so determined to get everything done tonight so that I can come downstairs in the morning and just see everything fresh and new and organized, and just to see all the hard work that we put in. I mean, there's just truly no better feeling than that. But also, I really just did not want this to go into day 3 because we had a soccer game scheduled the next day, and I just really needed to rest and recover from this massive project. So I am just so grateful that we just powered on. And now we're just adding the shelves inside the cabinet, and then after that we're also going to add the doors on. I will be painting like the outside of the door, but the inside of the door and the shelves are gonna have to wait for another day, like I don't know, this weekend or something. But it was getting really, really late at this point, and I just wanted to get everything, you know, at least the outside all painted. And I still had to add 2 coats of paint to this, and then also the polyurethane, and then on top of that, all of the dry time. And then also get everything decluttered and organized back in. So I took a little bit of a shortcut, but we will get it done at some point soon. So, oh well.
I can feel the heat is rising, and the beat is hypnotizing. Oh, no, we run the show.
And so we have party mode on, so it is time to declutter and get everything organized into these cabinets, starting with these bins, which I'm going to keep everything in these bins, but I normally keep like my smaller kitchen items, so like my toaster and my blender and a waffle maker. All those like smaller kitchen items I keep in these bins just to help keep them more organized inside the cabinets. And they did need a really good wipe out, especially because of the toaster just had tons of crumbs at the bottom of these bins. So getting them all nice and clean and wiped down before getting everything organized back into them. And so now just getting all of my smaller kitchen tools organized back into these bins. And I have said it a million times, but I'll say it again. Bins are absolutely the way to go if you want to organize like a bunch of different items together and still just make this space look more organized, especially like inside of a cabinet. There's really like no way to efficiently organize things. So I feel like bins just make it easier to make everything separated and to organize like things together as well. Another thing that I've been loving for organization lately that I recently found on Amazon are these organizing bins that you can stick inside of your cabinet door. And so I'm going to be using those to help organize these cabinets too, to help organize my trash bags and smaller cleaning tools. I actually shared these in a recent video where I declutter and reorganize inside my guest bathroom cabinet, and they are so handy in keeping your cabinet organized. So I'll be sure to leave the link for these in the description box just in case you find them helpful too. And now everything is set up and organized and looking amazing besides the rest of the downstairs. It was a total disaster. I mean, this is just what happens every time we do a DIY project or any type of makeover. It just completely destroys our house. So I'm going to go through and just put everything back where it belongs, organize anything else that I need to inside of the cabinet, but mostly just take things where they actually belong. Because again, this pantry has been a catch-all space. So most of the stuff that was in there didn't belong there in the first place, like decorations and wrapping paper from Christmas and books. So again, just taking everything where they actually belong, push the kitchen table back and get everything reset and cleaned up for the next day, or at least as much as I possibly can.
Let's get it on, we got it going, stay strong. It looks like we're.
So again, it is 1 o'clock in the morning. I don't know if you can see the timer in the kitchen, but it is really, really late. So the last thing that I wanted to do was just clear off the island. And then I could get everything wiped down and VacMop the next day. But then my camera died on me. So I decided to just call it a night and then get everything wiped down the next day. So we're just going to wipe down the countertops on the island since we kind of just used it as like a project table. And then also get the kitchen table reset and also give the floors a really good VacMop because they were so dusty and dirty. I hadn't cleaned them in the last 2 days because I figured, you know, what's the point? Because we were working and I just knew we were going to get messed up anyways. And then I'm just going to clear off this countertop space once again because Tyler's putting on the doorknobs on the cabinet doors. I'll show you like a complete full view at the very end because even though we had kind of a busier day this day with like a soccer game, we still kind of worked throughout the day and kind of tweaking little things here and there. Like I know Tyler further restained the countertop and put another coat of polyurethane on it just to make it look extra shiny and a little bit more professional. And we just kind of tweaked around with a few things. So I will show you kind of a full view of everything at the very end. But I am just so excited to finally have this pantry cleared out and also just to have it a more functioning space and just a more clean looking and more organized space in general. Again, this was a really scary project to tackle. We had no idea, what we were doing or what we're getting ourselves into. Again, we made like 57 trips to Home Depot. We really just had a vision and we just went for it. And so I truly hope this motivates you and inspires you to tackle your own at-home DIY projects. You can totally do it and you only live once, so why not have your home the way that you want it to look? Thank you again so much for watching today's video. Be sure to hit the thumbs up button, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye, loves.